We're here with Jessie Ames Daniels of the Texas League of Women's Voters to discuss her views on the election between Felix Robertson and Miriam Ferguson for governor, and why she believes Ms. Ferguson deserves the position. Ms. Ames, what fears, if any, do you have if Robertson wins the election?
Well, really and truly, I feel as though nothing but Klansmen would be elected, and so therefore, if Klansmen are elected, then they would be able to do anything they want. Kill, rob, steal, and hurt the Negro people. And so therefore, that's why I'm like, what's the point?
I understand. And it's also brought to my attention that with the Klansmen being in their power that they are, that nobody from the Klansmen Association would be put in trial for anything. They would run the streets wild. And
that's why most of the Klansmen, they run the Dallas County. Right. They run it. Like they do just whatever in God's name that they want. I mean, so many of them are convicted, like for heinous crimes and crucial and just degrading crimes that you wouldn't think no one would do, but
and they don't even go to jail.
They're convicted and they don't go to jail.
They don't go to jail. All right.
Ain't it the truth? It's the truth, baby. You should read up on it.
All right. Now, there are also some concerns about Ms. Ferguson and her position on the election. Some people, I guess you could say, are worried that her position will be largely influenced by her husband. What do you think about that?
It really will be. Miss Ferguson, she is the most hurt, the one, she's just like, really like sad inside, and her husband will influence her because she loves him so much that it makes her weak and vulnerable. So whatever he says, she's gonna do. And that's why I feel that Miss Ferguson is just like her husband is the pushover, and she's being pushed. And if she's close to the edge, he's gonna push her down the mountain.
And we know what he did. That's right. Whoa,
it's crazy.
It is. Back to news. I can't help but wonder. I mean, I guess you're right. It is only natural for her to want to support her husband and get his status back in the right place.
Yeah, it's natural. It's a woman's job.
That's a very good point that you're making. Now, lastly, I guess you could say there's some doubts about Ms. Ferguson in general winning the election. What are your concerns on that?
My doubts, they don't have to be like, put it in words, like, I can't put it in words exactly, but I don't think Miss Ferguson she would play the part. Like, I don't think she would be like getting ideas herself. Like, I know she would need help, but she would get too much help.
From her husband?
From her husband. Thank you. Okay. And that's where, back to the question you asked about influence, he would influence her deeply. He would give her like advice and tell her what to do. So I think that all the help she gets is coming mainly from her husband.
And again, we know what he did. Well, Miss Ames, we greatly appreciate your time. I know you're a busy woman. We just appreciate you for coming here and answering these quick questions for us.
Well, yes, and I would just like to thank you for allowing me to be here today.
Give Miss Ferguson our regards. We're voting for her.
I will.
Thank you. Back to you, Jasmine.